Greetings, Masandawana. Greetings, football lovers. Greetings, Nani Mapagania. We are back with another installment of the Yellow Corner as we bring you the preview of a huge encounter in June, 1st June. It's the Nedbank Cup final, Mamelodi Sundowns versus Orlando Pirates in Mbombela. And I'm joined by a good friend from our brother channel, Talking Buccaneers, Fumani. Fums, how's it?
Oh, good, Aizo. Thanks for having me on the Yellow Corner. Buccaneers are not going to love it because I feel like I'm very frequent on here, but it's testament to our bittersweet friendship.
Yeah.
You know, fine lines, but it's testament to our friendship, even though we support different clubs. But before we go anywhere, I want to congratulate you, champions again in South Africa, doing it in style, obviously Bafana style. And yeah, it won't be fair if I don't start there.
No, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, man. This is a special, guys, for you Sundowns supporters and Orlando Pirates supporters. It will be a two-part preview. So the part one will be on our channel, the Yellow Corner, and then the part two, you'll have to go to Fumani's channel, Talking Buccaneers, to watch it there. So, Nani Mapagania, welcome to the part one of the preview. Hope you guys will enjoy this installment of the Yellow Corner as well as Talking Buccaneers. Let's get right into it, man. Huge game, like I said. Looking forward to it, man. Are the favorites going to this game? If so, which team for you are favorites?
Yeah, I think there are favorites. The so-called bookmakers will put Pirates as favorites because of the cup reputation. You know, we've won the cup this year against you. We've won it last year, this same competition. And so I guess in that sense, if the bookmakers consider that, I guess they would have Pirates as the favorites. But I also think that there's another factor that plays into it, which is quality. I hate to say this, but I acknowledge the quality football club that Mamelodi Sundowns is. And so for that reason, I think I lean more towards the fact that when all else fails, whether or not you have a good football team and your processes and your methods, you do them right, is what's going to see you out.
Yeah.
So odds don't always play football. Odds don't have feet. Football players have feet and the ball is round. And so it's going to be about what is the better team on the day. And I think Sundowns, for quality's sake, has to always be the favorite. I hate to say that.
Yeah. Don't kill me in the comments for saying that. I share similar sentiment to yours, man. Because I think it's tight, man. I think it's 55-40, on the scale, I think you're raising a great point in terms of the quality of Sundowns, I mean, you look at this season, and the points gap between the two clubs, man, it's telling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you also have to look at the fact that in the last two competitions, cup competitions, Pirates, when you face Pirates have beaten us, So you go into this game, you look at both sides. You say it's not. You look at the FA Cup in England over the weekend. They were clear favorites, even though they lost. But City were clear favorites, So I don't think it's like that between Rona and Lona, And I don't think anyone will be surprised by whoever wins on the day. It can go either way, man. Speaking of the mighty Buccaneers, man, are you guys the new cup kings of South African football?
You have to say so. You have to say so. Stellenbosch obviously put a dent to that with the culling one. But to be able to play 4 finals out of 5 in a span of 24 months it's one of those things where if anyone wanted to say it's fluke, because there's people who have said that Jose Rivero has has had this fluke that has led him to win trophies. But once you get to the third final, you have to acknowledge that, okay, there must be, even though I don't see it, you must have that humility of acknowledging, or you know what, there must be something that is being done right to always find yourself after 5-6 games in the final. So I think even in the, I don't know if this is a premature thing for me to say, you'll tell me, you'll cut me if it is, but I think what Pirates has resorted to for now, I think they sit there as a staff with his staff and everyone, and they go, not with the board, because obviously the board is going to say
we want the championship,
the championship. But I think they've sat there with his team, and even the players might not want to admit it, but they've said, hey guys, they will beat us over 30 seasons because they've got an incredible quality and depth that if you take out Rivaldo at centre back, you can play Albas in that position. And there's a lot to say on that, but let's not get there yet. But you know, so if that will sustain them over 30 games, let's pick them off over 5 games, and then if we can do it over 5 games, it's not too long. Concentrated our efforts in these 5 games, you know, and so I think you have to consider us cup specialists of sorts. It might be a different conversation when we're playing in Africa because we got knocked out of Africa very early, which then redirects our attention to, okay, we need this trophy back to UC. So we'll see next season, or are we? But so far, I would say so.
Yeah. I think it's really difficult. Sorry guys for the background noise. Is it too noisy?
Yeah, I think it's going to be audible.
Okay. Sorry for the background noise, guys. I can't even hear myself. But I think it's difficult to dispute the Pirates are the new cup kings of South African football. You don't reach so many finals and win most of them without being good, you know. So I think it's really is difficult, and I would give Pirates that tag, the cup specialist.
Thank you.
Yeah. Going into this game, it's a cup game, and it can go to over 120 minutes and goes to penalties, like the last final that we played against you guys. Then, if it does go to penalties, who are the favorites going into penalties? Because one, China was the star of the show in the last penalty shootout, and then you have Ronwen, whose penalty record is just ridiculous. You know? So, who are the favorites if it does go to penalties?
I mean, that's a tough question. I don't know. Look, we've won Kadi penalty this year, but we've also lost against Juaning.
Oh yes.
So you have to take everything into consideration, and something we love to do and are experts at as fans is not to take everything into consideration. We like to take what favors.
Yeah.
So you have to take the fact that, look, we've lost against Juaning. So that says something about our taking of our penalties. But we've also won against Sundowns. But then you also put into consideration Ronza's great, penalty saving record, not just. Even in Africa, he was showing how good he is with that. And so I would throw the die and say this team would win. Coin toss. Say, whatever the outcome, they will win. I think it's that tight when it comes to penalties. Yeah, what would you say?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Against Yanga in the Champions League quarterfinal, we took some brilliant penalties. And then in games that followed that, 2 guys that should the game go to penalties, will definitely take penalties, and Shalulile and Allende missed their penalties. So it's a difficult one because Ronwen can save 3 or 4. But our guys can also miss, you know. So, like you said, man, it really is a coin toss, man. I think Ronwen is the best keeper, and he's an absolutely amazing penalty stopper.
Yeah.
I would slightly go for us winning it because of what Ronwen has been doing.
Yeah.
Not to say Pirates doesn't stand a chance if it does go to penalties. So it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
You guys have been playing a double pivot a lot in the last number of games. Mostly it's been Mbata and Makelele. Can you guys afford to play a double pivot against Sundowns on Saturday? Because I think it will be very risky.
Okay.
Why am I saying this? Sundowns will definitely play a midfield three. 8-2. It will be definitely Allende and most probably Nkulise with Debza just behind them.
Yeah.
And then you also have River when we build the attacks who moves into midfield. So that makes it 4.
Yeah.
And if it's 4 against 2, then numerical superiority, I think, will cause you problems, and that's where I think we might win the game if you guys play a double pivot.
Yeah.
But with that said, one thing that I know about professional players, if the coach believes in a certain system and continuously plays that system and then decides to change it going into a big game, they'll start questioning you. They start losing trust in you as a coach. But this has been working for us. Why are you changing it now? Do you fear? Are you more worried about them than focusing on us?
That's a good observation, man, and it's a good question because that actually it touches a bit on what I was gonna say about how I want us to line up going into this game. Because, like you said, we've been playing Kambat and Makelele, and one might say that has been the most, successful combination in our midfield. Shout out to Tim. I think when he's there, he does a job. But Makelele Limbata have done a great job for us in that midfield. Having said that, though, something that has been a surprise tactic of Pirates now towards the end of the season. So you go back to our game against Richards Bay. I know we lost that game. You watch our last game versus SuperSport United, and then you go to our game against just our last sort of 10 last 10 games. Something that has been a surprise tactic of the coach, which wasn't happening earlier on in the season when we were analyzing these things and looking at them, is what we're doing now is we're playing Dali Koki at the back, let's just say, as our 2 centre-back pairing, and then we'll usually have an offensive right back, Libito or Munyani. And then on the left, a lot of the time we've been maybe forced to play Mael. But I think with the force to play Maela, we've happened to stumble upon a tactic. I'm not sure if that was planned or what have you. So what we've been doing with that is that Munyani is the one that gives us that width, obviously, on the right. He'll be the one that will have that distance to cover, sort of coming back. But he'll go forward and be the one that's on the byline because we're playing Dlamini inside. So Munyani is not really a right back. Some people say Munyani doesn't play right back. Libito doesn't play right back. When you say Pirates plays a 4 at the back, you're like, you're lying. Which I get. He goes very high up. In the last game, we missed Maela. We're playing hot. So what the coach did is on the left, usually where you'd have Mufukeng being the one that gives us the width for those one-on-one take-ons, you have Maela as the one who stays with the three at the back. So he forms the 3 at the back when we're in possession alongside Ndali Kogi. And they'll form a 3, and then you have width from Munyani Le Mufukeng. I'm getting somewhere with this. What happens then is you then have a center where you've got the 2 double pivots, and then you've got the 2 10s, which is Dlamini Maswanganye, and they form this famous box now that we're seeing in modern football. I think we're still a long way to go with that. I think we can still be better, Yona, that system, right? But I do think that's why you've seen us sort of dominate more, and we're no longer a more transitional team where we hurt you when you attack us. But we've also got now these specialists who will pass the ball around and then create openings, come movement with that, Mufukeng, just sort of as an example, Mufukeng Maswanganye, how they'll interchange, where Maswanganye will then run beyond him, and then Mufukeng gets in the 10, and it keeps that box, but you're also bamboozling the opposition with that movement. And so...
Sorry to interject. What you're saying is funny enough if you say this now. I was watching something, some interview, I think it was Trent, I can't remember which podcast I was watching, Trent Alexander-Arnold, or was it Pep Linders? One of the two. And, no, it was Trent. He said, going into this past season, the one thing that they were always told is that to always make sure that there's 4 in the midfield. Whatever happens, they should always have 4 in the midfield. So I think that's what you guys have been.
We've been trying to do. That's what we've been trying to do. I mean, so we've been trying the 4 at times a 5. So like in the Richards Bay game, I think there was a bit of, one might say, an undermining of the opposition, where Maela, instead of staying with the 3, in that game we were playing the 2, and then you have Shaina then make the 3. Maela was actually joining the midfield. It was more advanced than it was. It was sort of a 2-3, 2-3, more instead of a 3-2-2-3. So I'm yet to see. So I think what I want my coach to do this weekend is to have the guts to say, yes, it's Sundowns. Let's match them. I say that with a bit of, but it's something that we're training and we're doing. But like you raised, Hore, if he then switches it causes that doubt even in ourselves. Does he really believe in his own methods? So, I think it can be tighter. That's what I'm saying, Hore. We play 2, but with our shape when we're in possession, it can be tighter. The problem is stopping Sundowns.
Speaking of that, man, let's discuss the weakness or where you think the game will be won and lost by the 2 sides.
Okay, well, for Rona, it's a simple one, and you know it. It's not a secret. The whole world knows it. We're going to play Saleng there, to attack. Whether you'll be playing Batuel, is he available? I'm not sure.
No. He's just had an op. He was in hospital last week. So he's definitely out of this one.
Of this one. So I mean, Mudiba probably.
It will most probably be Mudiba. He was listed as injured in the last game. I think it was a hamstring, but I don't think it's that serious. I think it's a final. They might be risking for this one.
For this one. So I mean, even thinking about how Mudiba plays, the objective will be clear: stay behind him, always be behind him. Cheat. Stay there, cheat. So I think for us, I think for us it's because another fascinating battle, by the way, Lepul Mfukeng versus Sailor.
You know what? I'll tell you what I think was going to happen there.
Okay.
You can continue.
Okay. So that's one to watch out for now, because again, sort of after the international competition, AFCON, first part of the season, one might say we were playing Kahoto mostly on the left. I don't think he trusted Mufukeng, but I always see that January period as like a pre-season 2.0, where he gets to work on these things with Mufukeng. He gets to work on that movement, Maswanganye, who both went away with the international, and they've come back on fire. He gets to work with Safat. So anyway, the point I'm making is there'll be a wanting to isolate, this boy come on the left, Mufukeng. I think he's obviously going to be playing with Saleng Kamo, he's going to want to isolate that space. We're gonna want to attack that space, Samudiba, that side. And for us, I think that's where we win it. I'd love to hear where you think you win it, maybe, against us.
Let me start by talking about where I think Pirates can cause us problems.
Okay, yeah.
I think for Pirates to win this game, they need to be brave. Brave where? In how they press us. You know, every time I watch Sundowns, when we kick off, our kick-off, first whistle, if we are the one kicking off, what the opponent say in those few seconds always tells me where the game is going to go or how the approach will be. If you go to our game against Cape Town City, from the first whistle, they pressed us.
Yeah.
They pressed us. They went 4 and then 2 followed again.
Sure.
And I was like, game just started. They just doing this now. But no, they continuously pressed us. They didn't want to give us time to build from the back.
Yeah.
So I think Pirates might have to do what City did. You know, it's high risk to press Sundowns, but at the same time it can get you a high rewards. You know? The goal that we considered, they pressed us. If you look at there's a picture that I was looking at. It was literally 4v4, and as Rhodes pressed Mvala. So I think Pirates might do what Gasparini did to our Liverpool in the second leg of Europa. In that game, in the last 10 minutes. I kept seeing Liverpool played at the back, you know, move it and couldn't penetrate. And you got frustrated. Why they not doing? But there's no way they can move, you know. So I think Pirates would have to press us, and maybe they might get
something out of that. Yeah,
there's something that Pirates did, and we spoke about this when we previewed the first leg of the first round, the other league game. And you guys did it for your first few games and then stopped doing it, but you've gone back to doing it again. Where your attack is lopsided. Numerical superiority on the right, you know. I mean, you have Tabiso occupying that white space. And then at times it's difficult to tell if it's Tito who's on the out or Dlamini, you know, because they alternate in between the half spaces, you know. So I think you will cause us a lot of problems on with that overload on your right, our left, you know. So I think that you might hurt us there. You spoke about Sailor and Mufukeng battle. I don't think. Yes, there will be times where it will be 1v1. But I think Pirates can hurt us on that side. And people will say, but Sailor is the best right back in the country. I think Mufukeng needs to cheat, not move back to help the club defend. And then, because when we attack, Agere River, the right centre back, he pushes into midfield. Sailor comes inside, he becomes the right centre back. So that space is left vacant. You know? So say we are in possession and then you dispossess us. If Mufukeng cheats, he's all by himself there, you know, if you move the ball quickly in transition, you know. So I think if he faces a Sailor and we sit in guy back 4 and it has to be 1v1, I think Sailor will easily continuously dispossess him. But if it happens that he has space, you know, to attack the box and then find people who are coming, so I think he might feast if it's like that. And then there's the goal threat, Mabasa. You know how I feel about Mabasa. You know, everyone who watches the Yellow Corner knows how I feel about Mabasa. You know, and the thing that's dangerous about Mabasa is that he can be quiet. He gets a chance, he buries it. Hence the nickname Sniper. So he's a killer. I think if we switch off and then he has that moment, we might find ourselves in trouble. And then with regards to us, the high press that I spoke about, if we happen to beat that high press, we are in, because you'd have pressed with a lot of numbers, maybe
Yeah.
six,
Yeah, six.
and then it leaves you exposed at the back.
Yeah.
The other thing that we touched on when we were talking about your double pivot, I think we will overload the middle field, like we will proper overload, and at times Zwane can come a bit deeper to collect, and now your middle field and your defense don't know whose man
Sticks
is
with
he.
him.
Who does the defense follow, or do they pass him on to Moma Ketlin, who
Yeah.
are already overloaded
With their man.
more than
Yeah.
what I said about cheating, Mufokeng, I think we can also do it on your right, our left.
Okay.
Because Thabiso bombs.
Yeah.
He adds numerical superiority in your attack.
Yeah.
So in the space that he vacates, we can use it.
Yeah. And
then there's a trap that I want us to do on Saturday. I'll be happy if we do it.
Okay.
But brilliant. He helps you guys progress the ball. He fetches
Yeah.
and then moves it to advanced areas. But there's this move that he loves where the ball is played and then he's on the edge of the box where he opens his body and then you press him and then he opens his body, he beats the first man and then he progresses.
Yeah.
I think we should set traps on every
him.
time when he opens his body. It's risky because if he opens his body and then he's able to progress, he'll cause you problems because he can break lives as well. So
Yeah.
I want us to set trap here, not because he's a poor player or anything.
Yeah. Because he's actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I
I
get you.
also want us to put our foot on the ball in this game. Dictate what you guys do. Dictate for you guys what you guys will do.
Yeah.
Because I think if it becomes a basketball game, you are
Yeah.
playing to Pirates' hands and they will punish you. So I want us to say we relax, we'll knock it around for 3 minutes, and just relax, and then when opening appears, we use it. But
Yeah.
if it's like this, I think it suits you
suits
guys
our game, yeah.
more than it suits us. So those are
Yeah.
my thoughts on the game.
In fact, I think you're touching on something, and I won't dwell too long on this point, is, you guys are drilled to be a team that rests in possession
Yes.
of the ball.
Yes.
So if we play that game, you'll beat us at your level. But again, we are drilled, and if you go back to Bo, Joseph Zimbauer, and we have been that team.
Yes.
Where we've been transitional, and that's the way.
Pirates has been that fast. They have that pace, man. Whoever comes, they've always been that team that in transition they will hurt you.
Will hurt you, And so if you make it, you want to play the game at our level, Mo, then we might get joy. I think about obviously that famous 3-0 at your stadium, where it was a case where you afforded us those opportunities to okay.
Because you scored early, and once you score, it means we have to score.
You have to score.
Now
and
it becomes that type of game. Basketball.
100%. Yeah.
Your lineup?
For Pirates?
Yeah, for Pirates.
Okay.
Give mine first.
Okay. I don't know, Tabi. Should I go with what I think he'll do or what I would do? Okay, well, I'll do what he thinks, what I think he'll do, but I'll comment on those things.
Okay.
But I'll try to be short as possible. So I think obviously Sipho Shiner starts at the back. Tabi Solibito is out, so we'll have Munyani play that side. For the reason that we're playing Munyani, Kamole, and he'll obviously, be going forward, I'll have my for this one. I know it's usually but I think he'll play Maela for this one. It's too risky.
I get, you go back to what you said. If he bombs and then
we have a 3. So I think he'll play his captain in this one, and then in the center, I think we'll be seeing. I think Koki, they might have ruled him out. I'm not sure. There's a question around.
There's a player, Yona, that they said is out for the rest of the season.
Kikoki.
I think,
Kikoki. So we might see in the final Sibisi introduced Sibisi one of the games later on. It to me like he was trying to play him into fitness.
Okay.
Well, so I thought, okay, maybe he's thinking about the final now. So I think we'll see Nda this BC. Yeah.
Would you go for Thabiso or SBC
or
if
SBC.
you were the coach?
You know something, I might contradict myself because I was saying about I want him to be Kati, but at the same time I think
It's a cup final.
Yeah, it's a cup final, and I've said this on one of the shows that I did. You know, Thabiso Sisane is brilliant, and I think people misunderstood what I was saying because they thought I was saying he's not good on the ball, which I obviously don't believe that. He's very good, especially with that thing you and I support Liverpool, that Matip drive into midfield with the ball. One who can escape into midfield, the ball. He can do that. His passing though, it's not bad. I think it can improve. But he's also very erratic. Like he can throw a foot.
The weekend, he played a pass and then I think Gobla intercepted it and
nearly they scored the second goal. He does that, so he has that in him. He's very erratic. He can throw a boot in someone's face in the box. Those kind of things are the marginal things in the final. And so for that reason, I'd place VC. Seasoned, he knows this game. He's played it before, so I'd play him. Double pivot, I know he's going to go for Team Makete. He's going to go for both of them. That's just what he does. I would play Mbata for the reasons we spoke about on this episode earlier. You know, it creates this thing where people are like, how? You know? Pito obviously is going to be the 10. I think he's going to play Saleng. Dlamini hasn't played his best. He set out this last game.
Oh, yeah,
because, you know, the coach was even on the media questioning the attitude of the players. Yeah. And something I picked up actually even in the previous games was Dlamini is great on the ball. And I've always said this. That's the other thing. And I don't need to say it. People can see it. But he gets plaudits when he's scoring. He's doing what he's always done, you know. He's always neat on the ball. He's always dribbled. He's always shivo with people here and there. But now he's getting the goals, which is important for a number 10 to supplement a lone striker.
Yeah.
Especially when Saleng is not there as the other goal threat. And so the other thing about Dlamini is, besides the fact that you are chancing Kadi goal if you play Dlamini, he might not score. He also doesn't make those runs beyond your winger to create that space for someone like Saleng to come in. He wants to stay there on number 10. He doesn't want to make that run. Tito is selfless. He'll run and so that someone else can come in. But Dlamini will often, you know, hang around, waiting for. He's good on the ball.
Very good, yeah.
Off the ball, not the greatest. So I think we'll see Saleng, we'll see Tito, we'll see Mfuke and Gamo, and then obviously Tofatimo was the striker.
Okay. For now, I think we will go with what I think might be our best 11.
Yeah.
I think it will definitely be Williams, and then it will be Mudau, Rivaldo, and then Libusa and Modiba, I think. Yeah. Obviously, Rivaldo pushing into midfield when we're in possession, and then Mudau coming into right centre back.
Yeah.
And then I think the midfield will be Ebza, Allende, and Kulis.
Yeah.
And then our front three, I think, will be Zwane, Shalulile, and Lodge. Ribeiro has just come back from an injury,
Yeah.
so he got a few minutes at the last game. So maybe they might think, let's save him, for second half. So yeah, I think that will be our front three. Score predictions?
Tough. Look, I'm going to be a fan this time. Every time I'm on the yellow corner, I always predict a Sundowns win. I think this one we're taking it because of the whole cup thing. I think those things will play into the outcome of the match, not how it plays out, but the outcome will be affected by the fact that Ezimnyama Nkani are cup specialists. So I see a tight 1-0 or in fact I don't see Sundowns being kept out. I see Sundowns scoring, and so I'll go with penalties.
Okay. I don't want it to go to penalties, man. Penalties bring a lot of stress.
Yeah.
I think we'll take it 2-1. I think Pirates will definitely score. Mambaso is in a rich vein of form, so I think he will score. But I think we will win 2-1. And just like that, That's it, Masandawana. That's the last installment of the Yellow Corner for this season. Thank you guys for the support, man, for helping grow the channel. Really, really appreciate it, man. It's time to rest now. It's been a long season, man. So yeah, this is the part 1. Like I said, please hop on to Talking Buccaneers to watch the part 2 until some 3 months from now, I think.
Yeah.
Sharp Masandawana. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, bro. It's always a pleasure.
Cheers.